I've been engaged with Cosmopolitan for roughly 5 years, got brought in on the forensic side when they started having failures.
The building had a failing VRF system that was installed by another contractor. We were maintaining the existing VRF system prior to coming up with a new system replacement.
Our service team has been involved with the project for the last 4+ years, just keeping it live as much as we could, but there was units going without HVAC for up to 6 months at a time.
The Cosmopolitan is a 28-story building. It's 380 feet tall, and it has 150 condominium units. This is so much different than a new building. We're working around people who live and work here, and so you have to put in that extra time, you have to put in that extra planning. Unlike competitors who required move-outs, we used a phased seasonal plan to keep systems running, maximizing livability and minimizing tenant disruption throughout the project. We ultimately decided to replace the VRF system with a water-based heat pump system. J.H. Kelly was an engineered record. We did full in-house design and engineering for this mechanical system. We have a track record of installing water source heat pumps in vertical buildings across Portland. When we look at future energy costs, future cost of replacement and maintenance, and we evaluated them side by side with other options, it just made sense.
We had to basically engineer the plant around what we had for existing utilities.
The existing system, it's ran through a mechanical shaft in the middle of the building.
The shaft's about 42 inches by 36 inches. The mains that come off the roof to supply the entire building are 10-inch mains. Getting those routed through a building that was never designed around it is challenging, to say the least.
We had to switch from a copper piping to a steel hydronic system. We had to cut all the clamps off, uninsulate everything, push it to the back of the shaft to create enough room for our new 10-inch mains.
Just logistically, Cosmo had some things going against it.
The area around the Cosmopolitan is extremely active.
There was a streetcar that runs next to the building, so there was very limited options.
We were allowed to stop the streetcar for up to 10 minutes, but we could not close it down.
So far, the biggest challenge was figuring out how we were going to do our hoisting. Logistically, it's kind of in a hard spot downtown Portland to get material in and out.
The soil that's under the roadways that surround what it can bear is less than half of a full cement truck. Full cement truck, for kind of observation, is 2,600 pounds per square foot.
That was a big challenge to find the right equipment to lift our components up to a roof of a building 380 feet off the ground. So that's why we built our center plant off-site, make sure it all fit together. And then we broke it all down into parts and pieces that we could identify the specific weights that were safe and that we could pull up to the roof. New greenfield projects typically use a tower crane built directly on the site. We didn't have that kind of luxury with this building. We opted for a 400,000-pound counterweighted crawler crane with a huge boom and jib totaling 460 feet. It was $1 million to bring it out on site, pay for the team to utilize that crane.
We had roughly 40 picks by the time we had everything go up, which was done over 2.5 days.
There's a lot of coordination between all of us contractors on site.
It was a lot of work on the front side that helped us to get to where we ended up. It's a lot of unknowns, and I think that some companies may be not wanting to take on something like that.
We are delivering a completely new HVAC system. Piecing together a pipe through a center of a building requires not only planning, but proper execution.
From the early design phase to what we're performing in the field, there's a lot to consider when people are living here, and we're trying to be of little inconvenience as possible to these people. And I just think that the communication's been rock solid.
In the end, we replaced complexity with reliability, and we ended up removing 2,000 pounds of high global warming potential refrigerant, and it lowered the overall energy cost of the building.
Pretty cool of how everything's come together for this project.
Took a lot of hands to make this happen, a lot of big players in this, and together we achieved our goal.
We're one of the few contractors that have the experience, the knowledge, the craft to complete this type of work.